my name's Nick Broughton and I'm a Randomfish. If you're a Randomfish too, hit that subscribe button and we'll all be that together, shall we? So, I didn't know what to review next. Because, well, I always don't know what to review next. But thankfully, for some weird reason, at some points, you guys have helped me out. Now, I've not been able to sort of look over these other films because I've been busy with work and such. But I remember a tweet that was sent to me by my sister-in-law. And she said that one of the things that she found in movies that are meh, which of course I'm still doing, thankfully, she said to me that some of the biggest hits in the local area felt more meh than most. Which I'm actually kind of in agreement with. The big films seem to have this very epic style quality, but nothing's closer to that than the man who made them. James Cameron. You know, the guy that made Titanic, Avatar, a whole bunch of films like that. And honestly, it's kind of understandable why his movies are meh. James Cameron has fell into that rather interesting set of filmmakers that's populated by the likes of Tim Burton sometimes and various other filmmakers of that sort, where the situation, the theme, the exact existence, the world takes a more front space than the actors and the characters. These are fortunately, these are the most shown in Avatar and Titanic, the two films that I kind of want to jointly talk about. I don't want to discuss their plots because, frankly, they're very generic plots. Titanic is she's marrying the wrong guy, the right guy comes along, happiness ensues. But the main twist of it being that, oh look, they all died in a horrible boat crash. And look, he's on the door and he floats away and everybody crying, Oscar please! And then you have Avatar, which is just, man is bad, nature is good, suck on that. For starters, I don't know why I think this is a surprise. I mean, films that have generic themes and films that have generic style characters have to work very hard in the story department to make us enjoy them, to give us witty dialogue, or to give us interesting characters to fall back on. But Cameron does not do that. He focuses on the world. In Avatar, Pandora is given practically video porn time than New Zealand is in the Lord of the Rings trilogy and in the Hobbit trilogy. In Titanic, it's the same thing with the shots of the boat and the glorious panning shots that he does. Cameron is the definition of visual filmmaker. Now, I understand that filmmaking is a visual art, and I spoke about this in The Room, where you have to have a visual style, strong characters, and good story, and good music, sorry. And these things work well when they're conjoined together in that setup. But when one overshadows the other, it's an interesting conformity. The Room worked because they had wacky characters, wacky actors, interesting music, and a visual style that seemed to scream, I don't care. And all of that meshed together into a gigantic ball of interesting. And that's the big difference. The Room was interesting. Titanic and Avatar, yeah, they're visually interesting, I'm not going to deny that, but in terms of character, or plot, or music even, it doesn't feel engaging. And a movie with a higher budget should have those kind of things in it. Hell, for a movie to be a success in my eyes, it has to have those critical elements. It has to have a neat, interesting, unique visual style in a way. Strong characters with decent storylines and a good plot, and strong music that can carry me through the film. And honestly, Titanic and Avatar try so hard in the visual aspect that everything else falls short. Yes, I do understand that My Heart Will Go On is possibly one of the most sung songs for a long time, and I do get that it was one of the highest grossing films for a while. And I don't deny that Titanic has its place in history. But that place was taken up because of its visual creation, not from its characters. We talk about how Kate Winslet and Leonardo DiCaprio are great actors and actresses, and how they should have won these awards for these films, and you're equating their performances to the visual style. Because every time I look at this film, I see generic characters that I've seen 1,000 times before in a film where, yeah, you can almost kind of see how it's going because of the way the ship is built up, and because of the way that it's constantly going, look at us, we're amazing. And also the constant phrase going, this is a ship that doesn't sink. Are you inviting someone to punch a hole in the side to make it sink? Are you that kind of people now? It doesn't... And I want to make something abundantly clear. If you like Titanic, if you think that it's a good film, you think everything's engaging in it, good for you. Please, continue to enjoy the film. Continue to enjoy all of Cameron's movies, please. But James Cameron has had hits and misses in his career. And Titanic and Avatar are two of his, not biggest misses, but two of his biggest half shots. He took a half shot with these films, and yeah, he got the ball in the net, but it was one of those shots where you just sort of sit there going, but should you really have gotten that? Someone should have said something. Did someone say something about this? James Cameron has had a unique career, but to act as though he wasn't playing the look at the visuals and look at how great I am card with these films is a little bit like saying that Tim Burton's version of Alice in Wonderland was better than the original. I like Alice in Wonderland, don't get me wrong, but you can't equate it above the previous versions of Alice in Wonderland. You just can't. Maybe one or two of them, I'm not sure, but, you know, definitely not above the other Disney, the animated Disney version, definitely. But why do we think that happens? Why do we think that a visual stimulation from a filmmaker's perspective could potentially be more important than good characters, good plot, or good music? Well, I think the biggest thing is that for many of us, we are a sight-driven species. There's a reason why we have love at first sight, or the reason as to why we have these various formats that happen. And the reason why we judge books by their cover. I don't pretend to deny this. I mean, I've judged people based on their looks before now. Is it right? No. But it happens. And that's what we do in film. We look at it and we judge it based off of its visual style. I mean, I'll be honest, when I first saw the trailers for Into the Spider-Verse, my natural reaction was that was too jarring. It was too weird. It was too bright and in my face to really be something that I would consider to be a film that I would want to watch. At least on a cinematic level. And since having watched it, it does bring good characters and good story to the table, and good and strong music, with an amazing soundtrack that I've heard people listen to without having seen the film. And I think that's a brilliant concept. But let's not kid ourselves here. The visual style is one of many aspects of film, but it is the one that we mostly see first. A visual style can be the thing that breaks you. It can be the thing that makes you into an amazing film. But when a filmmaker takes and decides to put that above everything else, they're not being a filmmaker. They're being an artist. They're being a painter. They're creating something visual for you to see, but nothing else. And while I don't necessarily believe that Titanic had awful characters, I do still like Leo DiCaprio and Kate Winslet in this. Hell, I love Billy Zane in it, because, well, it's Billy Zane. Why wouldn't you? I do not deny that they give off good shows, and they do give good performances when they need to. But I'm not going to act as though these characters were groundbreaking, because they weren't. And neither was the music that came with it. My Heart Will Go On, yes, it's a big Celine Dion song, but Celine Dion would have made that famous without Titanic. I think we just need to remember that, and thankfully, Cameron has moved on to other projects. He has done better style. Hell, I'd say Terminator and Terminator 2 were two of his best films that he ever made. James Cameron made a great story with that arc, and it's great to see it. But it's not something that he continued to do. And bear in mind, Terminator 2 and Titanic took place within a few years of each other, I believe. Titanic coming out in 1997 and Terminator 2 coming out in, I believe, around 99. Maybe. But at the end of the day, you have shots that you can take. And Cameron took a half shot with Titanic, as well as with Avatar. Hell, I've been talking so much about Titanic, I haven't even spoken about Avatar. Avatar is the ultimate fantasy for any eco-warrior. It is the ultimate showing to everyone who sits there and says the rainforest should be saved, or trees matter, stop making progress, we need to stop trying to take the world and turn it into a concrete-filled wasteland. Do I disagree with this theory? No. But this has been something that's been hammered in so much in film that I wish Cameron had done something unique with Avatar to a point where it was less of a problem. His uniqueness was all in the visual style. It wasn't in the characters, it wasn't in anything else like that. Cameron had the traditional soldier who goes through the change and who starts to see things from the other people's perspective, blah blah blah. I wish the story had been of someone who was native to the planet, someone who maybe did lead the rebellion and did win against the humans. Maybe it was the first humans who ever came to Pandora. That kind of story would have been amazing to see, because the humans would be saying, we don't want to destroy everything, we want to do this so we can do this. It's not about nature overcoming technology, it's about the two of them working in conjunction, being able to have a balance of one and the other, not have one overpower the other. And that's where I feel Avatar went wrong. But visually speaking, that's what it's doing. It's showing you that nature is amazing and all these wonderful things that happen. Now, creating the Na'vi, that was cool. I liked that. But connecting them to nature through the ponytails, I don't know if that was necessarily something that Cameron was 100% greenlighting at the start, but it feels like he got more and more into the idea as he got further into the script. And I mean, the way that everything was so green and multicolored and beautiful on Pandora, yet all the man stuff is grey and dark and oh no, look at this. Guys, we've seen this done a million times, okay? We need to stop. We need to stop focusing on delivering a fantastic painting and focus on making a good film. Now, I'm not gonna go so far as to say that I don't think that's ever gonna happen, because I know for a fact that not many people watch these videos. But you know what? Having a balance between good visual style and good characters as well as good music is what makes a good film. It does not require it doesn't require one to be more powerful than the other. It shouldn't require that. Sometimes it is needed, especially if the visual style is less, then the characters sort of pick up the slack, as I've said before in my room review. But it shouldn't have to happen. You shouldn't do it intentionally, which is what I think Cameron did. But hey, I could be completely talking out of my ass. If I am, please tell me in the comments below, because if I am, that's actually kind of interesting. I'd like to explore that a little bit more. Simply because that way it gives me an opportunity to talk like Ace Ventura to you through a camera. So, with that in mind, yes, I know this was a very short video, but I couldn't really think of much else to say or much else to review. So please, let me know of something in the comments. Let me know of something on my page, on Facebook. Tweet me at the Randomfish. Find me on Instagram. Let me know about that as well. Just please find some way to get in touch with me, because honestly, without you guys giving me ideas, I'm stuck. I wouldn't have reviewed Ghost if it wasn't for someone commenting it below. So please, let me know. Randomfish, out.